Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Mazz Reporter. Here's a quick roundup of today's top trending news for January 30th, 2026, as the day unfolds across time zones on Mazz Reporter Radio. Top trending news today from the United Kingdom. UK and China strengthen relations. Prime Minister Keir Starmer met Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing. They agreed to improve long-term relations between the UK and China. China will now allow 30 days of visa-free travel for UK citizens. China also cut taxes on Scottish whiskey, which will help UK businesses. Help with energy bills continues. The UK government will keep giving the $150 warm home discount to millions of families until 2031. This will help people pay for heating and electricity. New National Crime Police Force. The Home Secretary announced plans for a new national crime unit, like a British version of the FBI. Police will also use face recognition cameras across the country to fight crime. More affordable homes planned. The government will spend $39 billion over 10 years to build more social and affordable homes. New funding applications will open next month. Oxford University investigation. A family whose child died by suicide says a new report proves the university made serious mistakes in how it handled the case. Trump warns the UK about China. US President Donald Trump warned that the UK is taking a big risk by becoming closer to China. This has caused tension between the UK and the United States. Pakistan Fashion Week London opens. Pakistan Fashion Week London 2026 began yesterday with a private show at St. John's Church, Hyde Park. A large exhibition will take place on January 31st at the London Marriott Hotel. Laws being debated in Parliament. The House of Lords is discussing important laws about pensions, crime, and end-of-life care. Flooding after Storm Chandra. Parts of the UK, including Somerset, are still dealing with floods after Storm Chandra. NHS and health updates. The NHS is facing high costs from medical mistakes, but new AI technology is helping doctors find breast cancer earlier. Poor military housing review. The government has started a review of bad housing conditions affecting around 80,000 soldiers and their families. Trains return to public ownership. From 1st February, London, Northwestern Railway, and West Midlands Railway will be run by the government again. Top trending news today from Europe. EU calls Iran's IRGC a terror group. The European Union has officially named Iran's Revolutionary Guard, IRGC, a terrorist organization. All 27 EU countries agreed to this after Iran violently crushed protests, killing many people. The decision means IRGC members' money will be frozen and they cannot travel in the EU. This puts the EU in line with the US and Canada. Europe stops buying Russian gas. The EU has approved a full ban on Russian gas, including gas sent through pipelines and by ships. This is part of a plan to end Europe's dependence on Russia for energy. European leaders turn to China. Many European leaders are trying to build stronger ties with China. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is in Beijing making trade deals, including visa-free travel for British people and lower taxes on whiskey. France and Finland are also working more closely with China because of trade tensions with the US. Champions League draw. Today, football fans are watching the Champions League round of 16 draw today in Switzerland, which decides which teams will play each other next. Short ceasefire in Ukraine and Russia have agreed to a one-week humanitarian ceasefire so people can survive very cold winter weather. Ukraine is also working with SpaceX to stop Russia from using Starlink to control drones. Corruption cases in the EU. A senior EU official was fired after being accused of taking secret gifts and free flights. Also, 14 EU politicians are being investigated for not declaring extra income from outside jobs. EU and India signed big trade deal. The EU and India signed a major trade agreement. Most European goods will now be sold in India without taxes, and services like banking and technology will also grow. This helps European businesses. EU opens new office in India. The EU has opened a legal gateway office in India to help with work, travel, and business links between Europe and India. Bulgaria joins the euro. Bulgaria has now used the euro for 1 month after joining the Eurozone on 1st January 2026. Bank raids in Germany. Deutsche Bank offices were searched by police as part of a money laundering investigation. Storm kills people in Portugal. Storm Kristen caused serious damage in Portugal, killing at least 5 people. Top trending news today, as of 30th of January 2026, from the America's government shutdown, avoided the White House, and Democratic leaders in the U.S. agreed on a temporary funding deal to stop a partial government shutdown. They will fund the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, for 2 more weeks while lawmakers continue talking about changes to immigration enforcement. New plan to fight addiction. President Donald Trump launched the Great American Recovery Initiative, a national program to help people overcome drug and alcohol addiction and reduce deaths from substance abuse. Minneapolis unrest continues. 2 federal agents involved in the shooting death of a protester during an immigration raid in Minneapolis have been placed on leave. The killing of nurse Alex Preddy has sparked large protests and movements calling for change in how immigration enforcement is done. U.S. to reopen airspace over Venezuela. The United States announced it will reopen commercial airspace over Venezuela. This follows recent political developments, including the capture of Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, and possible new business opportunities for U.S. oil companies in the country. Trump's trade tensions with Canada. President Trump threatened Canada with a 50% tariff on aircraft if it does not approve U.S. planes. There are also disagreements about Canada's ties with China and its commitment to the defense agreement NORAD. Nationwide protest and strike. A mass protest movement called Ice Out is happening across the United States. People are urging others to skip school, work, and shopping on January 30th, 31 to protest actions by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC, after recent deadly incidents. Debate over Native American mascots. Former President Trump's team is pushing to keep Native American mascots in U.S. schools, even though some schools were told to remove these symbols. This issue highlights ongoing debates about racism, heritage, and identity. U.S.-Iran tensions. President Trump says he has spoken with Iranian officials and plans more talks, but he also warned that military action could happen if negotiations fail. Huge U.S. military forces are reportedly moving closer to the region as a show of strength. IBM buys Confluent for AI growth. IBM has bought the data streaming company Confluent for about $11 billion as part of its technology and AI strategy. More pressure on Cuba. A new executive order aims to cut Cuba's oil supplies, and the U.S. may impose tariffs on countries that sell oil to Cuba. Deadly winter storm in the U.S. A powerful winter storm in the eastern United States has been linked to around 60 deaths because of extreme cold and heavy snow. Trump sues IRS and Treasury. President Trump has filed a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS and the Treasury Department after his tax returns were leaked without permission. Meta plans huge AI investment. Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram, says it will spend about $135 billion on AI infrastructure this year. Self-driving car investigation. U.S. authorities have opened an investigation after a Waymo self-driving car hit a child near a school in California. New Super Bowl uniform patch. The NFL unveiled a USA 250 patch that will appear on jerseys for Super Bowl 60 to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States. Top trending news today from South Asia. Flights between Pakistan and Bangladesh restart. After 14 years, direct flights between Karachi and Dhaka have started again. The first plane from Bangladesh was welcomed in Pakistan with a water salute. This shows that relations between the two countries are improving after political changes in Bangladesh. Nipah virus cases in India. 2 nurses in West Bengal, India, have been infected with the Nipah virus, a dangerous disease. They are now in isolation to stop the virus from spreading. U.S. returns stolen Indian art. The United States has said it will return 3 ancient bronze statues to India. These were stolen from Indian temples many years ago. Christians in Bangladesh ask for protection. Some Christian families in Bangladesh say they are facing religious pressure and threats. They have asked the government to protect them. Imran Khan's health gets worse. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is unwell in police custody. His party says he may lose his eyesight and was moved secretly. They want his family to see him and an independent doctor to check him. High security for India-Pakistan cricket match. Sri Lanka will send special commandos to protect players during the T20 World Cup. The India-Pakistan match on February 15th in Colombo will have the highest security.
Other notable news. Pakistan says it will not join the Abraham Accords or any Gaza peace forces. ASEAN countries are discussing Myanmar's elections and regional stability. Asian stock markets are falling after problems on Wall Street affecting South Asian economies.
Top trending news today from Western Pacific region. China increases patrols near disputed islands. China has sent many ships and aircraft near the Senkaku Diaoyu Islands, which are claimed by both China and Japan. This has increased tension between the two countries. Australia helps Marshall Islands protect its seas. Australia has given the Marshall Islands a new patrol boat to help them watch their sea borders and stop illegal fishing and crime. Big Air and Defense Show coming to Singapore. The Singapore Air Show 2026 will show new planes and weapons. It will include U.S. fighter jets and China's new passenger planes. This shows both growing business and rising security worries in Asia. Taiwan calls for peace without force. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te told the Pope that Taiwan wants peace but will not accept threats or force from China. He said Taiwan believes in democracy and freedom. Tensions in the South China Sea. China and the Philippines held talks, but problems remain. Philippine ships were blocked and sprayed with water by Chinese vessels. The Philippines wants clear rules to stop fights in the sea. Earthquakes in the region. A 5.0 earthquake hit the Philippines, and a smaller one hit New Zealand. No damage was reported, but people were warned to be careful. Nipah virus alert in Asia. 2 nurses in India caught the Nipah virus, a very dangerous disease. Countries like Singapore, Thailand, and Malaysia have increased airport checks to prevent its spread. Bird flu cases in China. China reported 3 new human cases of bird flu, H9N2. Health officials are watching closely China's growing influence in Pacific Islands. China is building airports and roads in some Pacific Islands. The United States is worried these could be used for military purposes. South Korea's weapons industry expands. South Korea's military plane industry is growing fast. New orders for its KF-21 fighter jet are expected. Gun violence in Papua New Guinea. Leaders in Enga province are trying to stop rising gun violence that is harming communities. New Zealand changes Pacific worker rules. New Zealand has ended some work visa programs for people from Pacific Islands. Health and disease awareness. The WHO marked World Neglected Tropical Diseases Day. Fiji was praised for eliminating a serious eye disease called trachoma. Weather and nature news. Japan is facing heavy snow. A small earthquake happened near New Zealand. Scientists warn that Pacific Island land snails are in danger of disappearing. Top trending news today from the Eastern Mediterranean region. Gaza journalist back online. Famous Gaza journalist Bisan Oda got her TikTok account back after it was removed. Many people complained about the ban, and this is seen as a win for online free speech. Oda has worked with Al Jazeera's AJ Plus and won top awards like Emmy, Peabody, and Edward R. Murrow. Her account was banned shortly after TikTok came under U.S. ownership. Rising risk of war between the U.S. and Iran. The United States sent many warships near Iran, including the USS Abraham Lincoln and the destroyer USS Delbert D. Black. Iran says it will defend itself if attacked and has sent ships to the Strait of Hormuz, an important oil route. U.S. President Trump warned that time is running out for Iran to agree to a nuclear deal. Many fear a larger war could start. New EU sanctions on Iran. The European Union introduced new sanctions on Iran because of human rights abuses and Iran's support for Russia. Internet access is also disrupted in many areas of Iran. Syria political talks. Syria will announce details of a new agreement with Kurdish-led forces by January 31st. Tensions on borders with Lebanon and Israel continue. Turkey and Greece tensions over sea drilling. Turkey may start drilling for oil and gas near Libya in areas also claimed by Greece, causing tensions between the two countries. Huge humanitarian crisis in the region. The World Health Organization, WHO, says the Eastern Mediterranean has the world's largest humanitarian crisis. Around 115 million people need help in 2026 because of war, hunger, disease, and poverty. Syria, Gaza, and Yemen face severe health and food problems. Migrant boat disasters in the Mediterranean. The United Nations reports hundreds of migrants are missing or dead after several boats sank in the Mediterranean Sea, Bad weather made it worse. In Italy, a court case has started over a 2023 shipwreck, highlighting the dangers of sea travel. Egypt's health success. Egypt has eliminated trachoma, a serious eye disease. This makes Egypt one of the few countries in the region to defeat this illness, according to the WHO. Storm damage in southern Europe. Cyclone Harry caused heavy rain and landslides in southern Italy and Sicily, leading to property damage and travel problems.
Other notable news. Leviathan gas expansion. Chevron and partners decided to spend $236 billion to expand Israel's Leviathan gas field. Egyptian tourism. Boom. Luxury tourism in Egypt grew by over 100% year-on-year, helped by the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Libyan oil recovery. New energy investments from Western countries and Turkey are boosting Libya's oil markets and changing regional energy power. Earthquake in Turkey. A magnitude 2.6 earthquake hit near Manisa in western Turkey early this morning. No damage was reported.
Top trending news today from the African region. South Africa's economy is improving. South Africa's money, called the rand, is getting stronger. It is now at its best level in 20 years. This happened because South Africa was removed from a financial risk list and its credit rating was improved. This makes investors more confident in the country. Big gas project restarts in Mozambique. The French company Total Energies has restarted a $20 billion gas project in Mozambique. The project was stopped before because of violence in the area. This is good news for jobs and the economy in Mozambique. Nigeria's economy shows strong growth. A major Nigerian company, BUA Foods, almost doubled its profits in 2025. Nigeria's foreign money savings also reached $46 billion, the highest in 8 years. This shows Nigeria's economy is becoming more stable. Deadly floods hit southern Africa. Heavy rain has caused serious floods in South Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Eswatini. More than 100 people have died, and over 650,000 people in Mozambique have been affected. Regional groups have sent emergency help. Violence rising in South Sudan. Fighting in South Sudan is getting worse, especially in Jonglei State. Over 180,000 people have fled their homes. The United Nations fears mass killings and has asked for an immediate ceasefire. New fighting in Ethiopia, Tigray region. Fighting has started again in northern Ethiopia. Flights to the Tigray region have been canceled for safety reasons. The situation is getting worse after earlier peace efforts. Wars continue in Sudan and Congo. In Sudan, the war has passed 1,000 days, and people are suffering badly. In eastern Congo, rebel groups and militants are killing civilians and taking more land. African Union wants major reforms. Zambia's president called for changes in the African Union so it can work better. The reforms aim to improve peace, security, and economic cooperation in Africa. Burkina Faso bans all political parties. Burkina Faso's military government has dissolved all political parties, giving itself more power and reducing democracy in the country.
Other notable news. Afrofuture Festival is happening in Ghana, celebrating African music, fashion, and art. World Neglected Tropical Diseases Day is being marked with new health campaigns. In South Africa, 11 people died in a road accident between a minibus and a truck. Thank you for tuning in to Mazz Reporter Radio. If you found this January 30, 2026 breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who want to stay informed. We'll keep bringing you interesting and insightful updates on the stories that are shaping our world.